Of this broadcast that we do not have crowds gathered here at Kennedy Space Center, and that of course is one of the impacts of our protocols.
I launched on my first mission, and he said that he made a mistake and flipped the wrong switch on ascent, and he glommed on that and was about.
And we are looking at a live picture now of Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley walking down that hallway, and the astronaut banner hanging there. You can kind of see it in the back. There's a banner hanging on the wall of the elevator with the signatures of all the people who worked on this mission. So it was really important for them to hang that up in there so Bob and Doug could see it.
Yeah, we see that, and we see all those signatures.
What's so proudly we hailed at the twilight, and the rockets the bombs
And just taking in all the photographs, and there the doors are opening.
Here they come.
Great. And there they are, NASA astronauts.
Small crowd, but big cheers.
And there are their families right in front of them.
The virtual hugs, a very special moment. Fist bumps.
You can hear. And those Falcon wing doors are closing.
Super sleek.
A rapid departure from the Astro van.
Yes, I would say so.
And their flight surgeon is in the front seat in the passenger side, taking the journey along with them.
As I mentioned last time, we always think about the technology and the rockets, but this is what it's all about. The families coming together, supporting the families, us working together as a team to ensure they get up there safely and back home safely. Let's see that prominent NASA meatball.
Envoy begin their journey to Pad 39A. To our SpaceX and NASA family who over the years made this mission a reality and who have worked this launch campaign up to this point.
You can feel the pride each of these NASA and SpaceX team members has for this drive out to the pad. Poll to make sure everything is clear.
This storied launch pad, which has been the beginning point for so many firsts, is the perfect
At the Kennedy Space Center and Merritt Island and all of the nature.
alligator.
Well, maybe we'll see him. We'll keep an eye out. Tweet at us if you see any. Launch pad. This is the site of so much history, you guys. This is where Apollo and Saturn V rockets.
The road at Area 59, or Dragonland as we like to call it. We then put it on a truck and drive it all the way to the hangar where the rocket is. And so what will happen is we'll then we call it breakover, where the vehicle's up vertical will turn it sideways because the rocket is being processed sideways or horizontal into the hangar, lift it, mate it to Falcon 9.
Elevator that will carry them all the way up to the 255-foot level, and then they'll have a couple of steps to get up to the level where the crew access arm is.
I have the AC/DC song in my head as I see them walking up. Oh, nice.
I was like, I don't know, that might be on my playlist if I were in there. But there they are, taken in the sight, craning to see the top of the Falcon 9 rocket. It's 230 feet tall if you round up, and then Crew Dragon is another 27 feet from the bottom of the trunk to the top of the nose cone. So when you're out there in person, it's really.
Make it to the top. There's some FOD. He's picking up foreign object debris.
Appreciate that. They're also wearing FOD covers on their shoes, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We want to make sure that they don't, track the outside.
Of this operation.
I love the makeover of Pad 39A with the sleek black with the white ticking and the lines.
I'm honored to be able to launch from here. Oh, here they are. That's a really fast elevator.
Yeah.
I know, it really zips. That took them up to 255 feet in just a matter of seconds.
They were moving their fog covers?
Looks like they were just maybe checking something on his boot or leg.
And we should hear a call any moment that the crew has arrived at the pad as they make their way up the stairs, and they're headed to the crew access arm now. There's the worm again, popping.
You know it.
Meatball.
Don't worry, there's a meatball on Crew Dragon.
All right, so that was a detailed look.
Comfort for the astronauts. It's really
the nets and hearing those updates live. But yes, once the FOD check is complete, they can enter, which is happening live on your screen right now. And as they climb into Dragon, they will buckle themselves in and attach their umbilicals to their suits. And as you can see, the suit techs are there to help them get buckled and settled into those seats. And as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast,
And now the SpaceX Crew Dragon getting ready for a launch to the International Space Station. Rocket fuel still going through my veins.
34 astronauts, though, on future NASA missions, and we'll see that on Crew 1, which will have 3 NASA astronauts and 1 from our partner agency, JAXA. And then directly above the crew right now, but right in front of them, once their seats get rotated, are the 3 displays that they'll use throughout the flight. And that just gives them insight into all of Dragon's systems. It allows them to take control of the vehicle and manually fly it, which we'll see them do hopefully only twice during 2 manual flight tests. As again, Dragon's autonomous, but they can jump in.
For non-urgent no-go conditions, brief the CE or LD, and they will approve aborting launch auto sequence and proceed to launch abort. For urgent issues affecting the safety of the operation, operators shall call hold on the countdown net. Launch control will immediately abort the launch auto sequence and proceed to the launch abort auto sequence. Operators shall also advise launch director whether structural break or fire is imminent or occurring per Dragon manual escape flight rules. A reminder on fire alarm instructions. In the event of a fire alarm, key operators previously briefed will remain at their post while the alarm is evaluated. In the event that personal safety is threatened, evacuate to the south-facing emergency exit, which leads directly outside. At this time, weather is go for launch.
You can see on the screen, we're inside T-minus 40, we're T-minus 44 minutes, 5 seconds. Crew access arm retracting away. SpaceX launch director is given the final brief to the crew. And we will begin.
You were a little broken, but I did copy you.
How about this time? I hear.
And at this point, the crew is out of their suits and they're drying them, so they're actually reconnecting them to the umbilicals of the seats that they're not using.
So transitioning to internal
T-minus
power.
1 minute and 40 seconds. We're going on internal power now.
Just a few seconds away from the stage 2 LOX load being complete. It's been almost 9 years since we've been in this position. A lot of work done by thousands of people to get to this point.
Stage 2 LOX load is closed out. Propellant fills are complete. Dragon is in auto idle. Stage 1 tanks pressing for flight.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon. Go NASA, go SpaceX, Godspeed, Bob and Doug.
America has launched. And so rises a new era of American spaceflight, and with it the ambitions of a new generation continuing the dream. 20 seconds into flight, stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
T plus 30 seconds into this historic mission. Flying crew on board Dragon and Falcon 9, and look at them go.
Falcon power telemetry nominal.
M1D throttle down.
We're throttling down to get ready for the period of maximum dynamic pressure. We're in the throttle bucket. Reports say all systems are go.
Vehicle is supersonic.
We've exceeded Mach 1 on the Falcon 9.
M1D throttle up.
We're throttling back up to full power as we're through max Q.
Copy, 1 Bravo.
And we heard that 1 Bravo call out. That's just the second abort zone that they're in. They'll continue to be on this until the first stage has done its job and they switch over to the second. At this point, Bob and Doug pulling about 2.3 Gs, 2.3 times the Earth's gravity, already moving at over 1,500 miles per hour.
We've heard the call out for MVAC engine chill. That's getting the MVAC engine ready to light. That'll come at about 2:44 into flight. Right now, everything continuing to look good. Next major event coming up is going to be the triple. We'll have main engine cutoff of the 9 first stage engines, stage separation, and then ignition of the second stage engine to continue to carry astronauts into orbit. Coming up in about 20 seconds.
M1D throttle down.
We heard we're throttling down the Merlin engines on the first stage. And we have MECO.
MECO.
2 Alpha. Falcon stage separation confirmed.
Copy, 2 Alpha.
MVAC ignition.
All right, we have stage separation confirmed. The first stage beginning its flight back. The second stage being powered by that single Merlin 1D vacuum engine has ignited and is now carrying Bob and Doug into orbit. So they're going to continue under the power of this second stage.
Stage 2 propulsion is nominal.
Which will cut off at SECO, or second engine cut off at about 8 minutes and 44 seconds into today's flight. So a little over 5 minutes to go still on this second stage. You heard the call out 2 Alpha, so they're now in the longest abort zone that carries them all the way from about North Carolina up the eastern seaboard almost to Canada. Things looking good though, getting good call outs, nominal propulsion on that second stage. Bob and Doug continuing to make their way into orbit.
Dragon SpaceX nominal trajectory.
Acquisition of signal in Bermuda.
SpaceX Dragon nominal trajectory.
All right, here in nominal trajectory, so Dragon pointed in the right direction, continuing to make their flight uphill. Heard acquisition of signal Bermuda. That's one of the other ground stations that they're using to get telemetry and data back from this spacecraft.
Stage 2 propulsion is still nominal.
Dragon copies, nominal trajectory.
Continuing to check in with Bob and Doug as they are on a nominal trajectory. Just about 10 seconds away from that first stage, starting that entry burn on your right screen. We should be able to see that view live.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
And there is that entry burn beginning. This burn lasts about 36 seconds long.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
Well, that entry burn continues. We're just about a minute away from SECO. We'll have a number of events all happen in rapid succession. It'll be the
shutdown.
second engine cutoff.
Stage 1
We'll
entry
be
burn
looking for
shutdown.
that stage 1 landing burn shortly after.
Yeah, actually, just within a few seconds of each other. It's such a cool view on your left screen, seeing Bob and Doug on Dragon. Right now, you can see the displays that they are seeing right now themselves.
Terminal guidance.
And back throttle step.
We are coming up 25 seconds or so away from SECO, or second engine cutoff.
This is also the point where Bob and Doug are experiencing their highest G-force. We're seeing the counter tick up to right about
Stage 1
4.8.
transonic.
Copy, Shannon.
You heard Shannon, so that just means they're in their final abort zones. If they were to abort at this point, it would either be an abort to orbit or to land off the coast of Ireland. Standing by for second
Stage 1 landing
cutoff
startup.
confirmation.
And back throttle step. And back shutdown.
Stage 1 landing letter.
Confirmation of SECO's second engine cutoff.
Now we are waiting for our first stage to make its way to our drone ship. Of course, I still love you.
Dragon SpaceX nominal orbital insertion.
Did
Launch
get
escape system
confirmation
is disarmed.
nominal
Dragon
orbital
copy.
insertion.
Nominal
Stage
orbital
1 landing leg
insertion.
deploy.
And what you're seeing on your screen is a live view of our drone ship, where our first stage will be coming down. Looks like we lost that live view, but we'll wait for confirmation of that landing shortly here.
Falcon 9 first stage is successfully landed.
And
aboard
there you
course
can see on your screen, Falcon 9 has landed. This is the first Falcon 9 to carry
Acquisition of signal
humans to
Newfoundland.
orbit, so very exciting for us. And as you can see on your right screen, Bob and Doug are still making their way to their targeted orbit.
M1D to recovery 1.
So exciting today.
M1D.
It doesn't stop.
It does not stop.
All right, we did hear again that call out, good orbital insertion, so that means Falcon 9 and Dragon right now exactly where they're supposed to be. Again, we're just standing by. That separation event should be coming up shortly. Then they'll begin a series of checks on the Draco thrusters that are going to be used to maneuver and then power Dragon on its flight to the International Space Station. Standing by for separation.
Expected loss of signal, wallows.
It sounds like we had an expected LOS loss of signal with one of the ground stations. Waiting for confirmation now of that.
Dragon separation confirmed.
Dragon separation confirmed.
There is a great view right in front of you
Countdown
of
1 is
Dragon
emerged.
separating.
Separation confirmed.
And there's that call out. Dragon is now officially making its way to the International Space Station today.
Dragon SpaceX, with that separation call, we have a few words for you from our Falcon 19.
Standing by.
Dragon, Chief Engineer on Dragon to Ground. Bob Doug, on behalf of the entire launch team, thanks for flying with Falcon 9 today. We hope you enjoyed the ride and wish you a great mission.
Thanks, Bala. Congratulations to you and the F9 team for the first human ride for Falcon 9. And it was incredible. Appreciate all the hard work, and thanks for the great ride to space.
Copy all.
Oh, and Mike, proud of you guys and the rest of the team. Thank you so much for what you've done for us today, putting America back into low Earth orbit from the Florida coast.
Copy all. Good luck. Godspeed.
Built by America's private sector. So join me in a vigorous round of applause for Elon Musk and the dedicated men and women of SpaceX. Job well done.
Well, thank you very much. Please, please. Big day is a big day. And I want to thank our great Vice President for your fearless and tireless commitment to fulfilling America's destiny in space. Thank you very much, Mike. Great job. Great job.
And at this point, the crew is out of their suits and they're drying them, so they're actually reconnecting them to the umbilicals of the seats that they're not using. You heard them refer to seats 2 and 1. If you were looking inside the Dragon capsule, it goes seats 1 through 4.
So Doug's there, making a nice big smile for the camera. I hope you enjoyed the trip today with us on board the Dragon capsule Endeavor with our friend Trimmer, the Apatosaurus, and Doug and I. We just would like to thank Space Headquarters, but I'm going to try to demonstrate some of the capability that we have now that we're in zero gravity. So I think I was requested to do a backflip. I'm going to kind of do a side spin, which is a little bit of a permutation on that request. So hopefully you can see what it's like to actually float in zero gravity. And Doug and I are super excited that we got the opportunity to do this again today, even before the end of May. So that was super cool. We did. It turns out, end up with one stowaway on board our vehicle when we launched today. It was not just Doug and I who accomplished the launch here. We do have an Apatosaurus aboard. We both have two boys who are super interested in dinosaurs, and we collected up all the dinosaurs between the two houses, and Trimmer, the Apatosaurus.
Okay, as we work our way towards one of the windows, unfortunately it's getting a little bit dark, but I don't know if Bob can pan over here. We just passed off of the coast of Newfoundland and we're headed over to over the Atlantic right now. I don't know if you can get a good picture of that.
Rendezvous conference with ground controllers to review rendezvous procedures that the Crew Dragon crew will be executing later in the morning. He will then move on to begin setting up tools that will be used for leak checks between the space station and Crew Dragon after docking, as well as setting up photo TV equipment to capture the historic hatch opening later that day. And from there, Cassidy will move into his midday meal. Then around 8:25 a.m. Central Time, Cassidy will begin monitoring the approach of Crew Dragon. Again, another moment we've...
As we have been running ahead of schedule today with all of Dragon's maneuvers, we could be looking at a docking.
Only a full view of the International Space Station from Dragon. This would actually be overlaid, or rather their controls would be overlaid on the displays on top of this view. And we got
is going to be resuming the approach. As we heard them informing the crew, they're going to have that one final hold when they're just 20 meters away. That's going to be at waypoint 2. We're expecting it to be a brief hold. It'll be 20 meters away from that docking port. The International Docking Adapter number 2 attached to pressurized mating adapter number 2 at the very forward end of the Harmony module.
Right there on the, right around the center, you got the sun right now.
3 meters to go. Two meters. We are inside the hands-off point, the chop, the crew hands-off point. 1 meter to go. Soft capture complete.
Dragon is soft capture confirmed. Stand by for retraction and docking.
Bye.
And we just heard it, soft capture. We have docking, that coming at 7:16 a.m. Pacific time, with the station and Dragon flying 262 statute miles right over the border between northern China and Mongolia. It looks like we have another quick handover. We'll get that video back shortly. We're about 75% complete already with that retraction.
Lift vehicle up to the International Space Station. The test pilots got to do some fun tests today. Have a few more steps before they can actually get aboard and ingress to the internet.
There, avoiding some CO2 pockets. That hatch you see just beyond Chris Cassidy there is normally closed. He was able to open it a little bit earlier today, mix some of that cabin air, and get rid of those CO2 pockets, make sure it's all clean.
We copy, thanks. Houston, Dragon, go ahead.
And Dragon, Houston, just looking to confirm that you're ready for hatch equalization.
We are ready as long.
We have Bob Behnken from SpaceX Demo 2 mission entering the International Space Station. Followed by Doug Hurley.
And Station Houston, we see you, and it's a great-looking photograph. So thanks for that. Stand by one. We'll call you when we're ready for the event in the next few seconds. Got a whole bunch of very happy and grateful people making their way into MCC right now.
Demo 2 crew now aboard the International Space Station. They entered at 12:22 p.m. Central Time. The station at the time was 262 statute miles over Turkmenistan. Crew all gathered in front of the cameras at the Node 2 forward end of the International Space Station. Just behind them is the hatchway to the Crew Dragon on this Demo 2 mission. We're standing by for a welcome ceremony. We'll have VIPs here in Mission Control Houston ready to greet the crew.
And Station, we're just about ready. Stand by. All right, Station, it's Houston on Space to Ground 2. confirm that you are ready for the event.
Houston, this station, we are ready for the event.
Copy that. And sir, Administrator Bridenstine, welcome to MCC. Please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is the NASA Administrator. Can you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear, sir. Welcome to the space station.
Thank you, Chris. It's good to see you. And welcome to Bob and Doug. I will tell you, the whole world saw this mission, and we...
Wow, we're making history again.
Let's go.
Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon. Go NASA, go SpaceX, Godspeed, Bob and Doug.
America has won. So rises a new era of American spaceflight and with the ambitions of a new generation continuing to dream.
Good afternoon and welcome from Kennedy Space Center. I'm Bettina Klein with NASA's Office of Communications. What a day. We are here to discuss the NASA SpaceX Demo 2 mission and the return of U.S. human spaceflight from American soil to the International Space Station with astronauts Robert Behnken and Douglas Hurley. The Crew Dragon spacecraft and the Falcon 9 rocket lifted today from Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center at 3:22 p.m. Bob and Doug are now safely on their way to the International Space Station. To talk more about this historic mission, we have a great panel of guests, starting with NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine, Elon Musk, the Chief Engineer of SpaceX, Kathy Leaders, Manager of the NASA Commercial Crew Program, Kirk Shireman, Manager of the International Space Station, and NASA Chief Astronaut Pat Forrester. We'll start with opening comments and our presenters. Then we'll take your questions. We'll first start with our NASA Administrator, Jim Bridenstine.
Well, thank you, Bettina. What a great day for NASA. What a great day for SpaceX. What a great day for the United States of America. It's been 9 years since we've launched American astronauts on American rockets from American soil, and now we have done it again. I want to be clear, the mission is not yet over. This is a test flight. And so we are at the beginning, but so far everything has performed very, very well, and we are excited about the fact that Bob and Doug, our American heroes, are safely in orbit and on the way to the International Space Station. So I just want to say congratulations to the NASA team. Congratulations to Kathy Leaders, who's been on the NASA side leading our commercial crew program all along, and you and your team have done an absolutely marvelous job, and of course Elon Musk and your team at SpaceX. This launch represents the best of everything that America has to offer, but it also represents continuity of purpose. I think to Charlie Bolden, my predecessor as the NASA Administrator, who got this program off the ground when there wasn't a lot of political support, and now there is a lot of political support, but it's because we have had success after success. And so this is an important milestone for the nation, and I am so honored and grateful to have really this brief moment in my life to be at the head of this agency. So what an amazing group of people that made all of this happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Administrator. Next, Elon Musk.
Oh, I'd like to just acknowledge the incredible work of the people at SpaceX and NASA and everyone in creating this technology, and in what has culminated in this incredible launch today of getting astronauts back to orbit after almost a decade. I think this is something that should really get people, right on the heart of anyone who is has any spirit of exploration. And the United States is a distillation of the human spirit of exploration. And I think this is something that's particularly important.